What's funny about this stop sign is it actually says Nemo right here. It says Nemo loves you. Nemo loves you. Stop. Don't you hate it when you get one of those cricks in your neck right here? And you're sleeping on the couch or sleeping wrong. Ah, man. This is where I used to grow up, and I had a friend that had an executioner skateboard. We used to talk about Back to the Future. We went to, Cherokee was the lane. You turn on Cherokee right here, and this actually leads to my old middle school, where I broke my collarbone in a bike race. Man, they got me big time, dude. I mean, big time. Those horses are pretty cool. Right there. So here it is, right off Phillips. Bear Creek Intermediate, where I went to middle school. I broke my collarbone right past that soccer field. There is a large... We're gonna have to listen to Waze. But there was a large hill right over that way, right over there, and I jumped my bike. I landed wrong on the front wheel of the bike, and I fell down and broke my collarbone. A friend of mine broke his leg in two different places right over there playing baseball. True story. And this is Bear Creek Intermediate. It looks very similar to whenever I went there. It looks about the same. And that's where we'd go in to school, right down there. I dated a girl named Christy Wright. She ended up getting married and having a whole family. And we were big Back to the Future fans. The Power of Love would play in my head. I had a Sony Walkman, and I used to listen to Huey Louie. Huey Louie. Huey in the News, or something like that. Huey in the News. A friend of mine named Adam Roses hit me in the nose right over here. It was the first time I ever got hit by another person. And he hit me in the nose and bloodied my nose over some chick. And I dated another chick named Amy Cruson, and she left me. I kissed her on the cheek, and she left me for some guy that had a comb in his back pocket. It was one of those big combs. He had long hair like a freak. One of those, we were geeks and freaks. So there were geeks and freaks. And boy, Waze loves it. Yeah, Waze doesn't always agree with me. It's kind of like if you're driving around with R2-D2 and it starts yelling at you because it's trying to tell me to go somewhere else. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Bear Creek Intermediate does not have a sign on it, but it actually does right here. You can kind of see it. And that says Bear Creek Intermediate, Bear Creek, and you can't even read it. It looks like there's pretty much no one around at all. There's the actual school, and there's the other side of it right here. My friend had a skateboard. It was called an executioner. And he'd go skateboarding around just like Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future. He'd talk about that all the time. He'd pretend like he was in Back to the Future. And we had a race over here. It was a relay race. And I was, I think, the second guy that got the relay bar, or whatever you call that thing. So I'd run, and the first guy would run, then he'd pass the bar to me, the little thing that you carry when you're in a relay race. And I would take that to the next guy, and he would take it to a guy named Michael Merritt. He was the pastor's son, and he could sprint. And he like ran real quick, and he caught up because we weren't as fast as he was. He was the sprinter. And we ran as quick as we could, and we won. We all got first place ribbons, and we were the fastest relay runners in that school. And I had broke my collarbone about right there in a bicycle race. Somewhere along this area right there. Right by where that tree is. Right here. Right on the side of that tree. Broke my collarbone horribly. From the bicycle. It was from a hill. There was a dirt hill that people were jumping bikes on during the race. And man, I snapped my collarbone bad. Now that is a very interesting cloud. I think that cloud is just super interesting. If you look at it right here, ready, and zoom. And looks like it is very cool looking. It's a cool looking cloud. Isn't that cool? Isn't that neat? Cool cloud. There's that interesting looking cloud again. This right here is actually known as Little Bear Creek. We just passed it right in there. You can't really see it, but we just passed what's called Little Bear Creek. Interesting about photography is I know the cloud is behind there because I saw it earlier at a different angle. But all these houses right here are covering up that cloud, which is okay. I mean, it's not a problem. I need to remove all those houses to get that cloud, because that cloud's not going to stay there for very long. But you can see parts of it on the other side of the neighborhood, and it just captures my interest. I don't know why. If I move down this way, the clouds are going to be exposed a little bit better right here. And I keep going down here, and they're really interesting clouds. So I don't know. I just look at them, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, that's an interesting cloud. And I'm just, I'm wondering, that's just really interesting right there. Just the way the cloud is. And I just look at it and I'm like, huh, interesting. All of this for a small cake, or what they known as cupcake. So it's a small cake cupcake. It's called the Ghost Train. They come here every day at about 6:43 p.m. and they wait for the ghost train. Those people over there. People over here. People over there. Back here. They're all waiting for the... Oh, never mind. Never mind. I thought it was... Okay, I was wrong about that. It's a text rail. For some reason, I thought it was a ghost train thing. Maybe there's another one coming. There it goes. There we go. Now we're rolling. For a minute, I thought it was a ghost train, but it wasn't. It was a real train, so sorry about that. Got some misinformation. I really like that cloud. I have to drop off a small cake. For real, not lying. That cloud and that cloud too. Pretty cool. Cool looking clouds, and I'm gonna drop off a small cake. On my way to drop off that small cake, I saw this bridge right here. I thought it was a really cool looking bridge right next to this moped. We're in this nice neighborhood, and middle by Ice House. It's Ice House Drive in Mangham. We're curving around. This is like really kind of almost houses, but they're almost apartments too at the same time. So the combination between a big townhome, like townhome slash houses. Here's what the map says. That's what it looks like. I thought that was interesting, the sign. I thought that was interesting. The sign says occupied. The bush or the house? Occupied? I don't know. Those things just kind of get my attention. Beautiful neighborhood. I love that bird way over there. So this is pretty much my luck. I was gonna put the camera right here, and I was gonna walk out way over here. When I got right here, I realized that that's a waterfall, and I can't walk over that way. So I'll just get this shot instead. There we go. Trying to set this up. It's pretty nice. Nice little park to live right next to. Good to go. All right. So we are just. All right. All right. Pick the truck up that way. Let's switch these over. have ourselves a little hot dog. Still smell that onions and hot dogs, everything. Just freaking aroma. There's a Pizza Hut guy in front of me. But everywhere I go, I'm trying to find a little niche, little alcove area. Oh, here's a cool place. I found a place kind of like, it's kind of like, well, I'll have to show you. So it was the tail end of the driver's ed class. It was in the summertime, and the Cure were coming to town, and I was in love with this girl, and I was going to take her to the Disintegration tour and see the Cure. And this guy was mad at me because I had gotten tickets, and he thought the Cure were sad. He said, well, why do you like the Cure? They're sad. Their music is sad. That's not good. And I was real excited. I had like tears in my eyes. And it happened right over here where the driver's ed class took place. I don't think it's a driver's ed place. It was right here. And I was 15, and I got my license. And he was a guy that excelled in music. And it was in these buildings right here. And we took driver's ed. And I got my permit at 15. And then I drove to the concert. Or my mom may have dropped me off, I don't remember. But I saw the Cure. I think I actually drove there. I don't really remember. I have to go back to my memory to find out if I drove to see the Cure. And I saw the Disintegration at the Starplex in Dallas. And it was the Cure, and they came out. We all yelled and screamed. My girlfriend was with me. We were all like, had tears in her eyes. I'm like, this sad music makes us so happy. Love the Cure. I wonder if William Shatner's like, I finally made it.